Alright, so I promised that I would do this video, a continuation of the Toyota Tundra. This is a 2001 Toyota Tundra. As you can see, she takes a licking, but she keeps on ticking. I pulled the side pieces off. It actually looks better, and once I get it all straightened up, ready for paint, I think it'll look a lot better. But anyway, I wanted to address a problem that some others may have. It started out, I was feeling a little shudder when I would start off from a dead stop. It's kind of as you accelerate, it was it almost felt like engine hesitation, like it wasn't, getting the correct fire or whatever. And I went with that for several weeks, and finally got up under and looked up under it. And I'm gonna have to stop the video and piece this together, but I want to show you from the other angle. So here we are, got where I can point it now. So anyway, I got up under, and the gold looking piece right there, that's your center support for your drive shaft. Well, I had replaced that about, I don't know, 2, maybe 3 years ago. And anyway, I got up under here, and it was worn out. I mean, you could tell just by looking at it. The rubber in the middle was all messed up. So I was like, well, crap. So I took that off, ordered another one, took that off, replaced it with that new one. Well, when I did that, put it back on, I'm thinking, okay, maybe that was what was the problem. And anyway, got in it, got it put back together, got in it, got going, and it shuddered even worse, up to about 20 miles an hour. I mean, it was like the thing was going to shake apart. So I was like, man, what in the world? So I got back on it, and I wound up taking, you have a 2-piece drive shaft. This is again a 2001 Toyota Tundra Limited 4x4. So you got a 2-piece shaft. A lot of the Toyota trucks had the two-piece shaft. So I go on Rock Auto and start looking for, I'm thinking, okay, the U-joints are bad. So I had just replaced U-joints on the ends there and back there, or at least I thought I had, like I said, a couple years ago. So anyway, I went ahead and ordered those, and I came across this thing. And this is a double U-joint. I believe it's called a cardan joint or something to that effect. And so I started looking through the manuals, trying to find, what fits that. And you have to be really careful when you're ordering, because as you look for it, you'll see the different model of trucks have different U-joints, and they're not all universal. So I looked and looked and looked. I ordered 4 U-joints and got them in. I took the whole drive shaft down, and I actually took this apart, and I'll throw some pictures in here. It was that front U-joint that was one of the fingers was bad, and that was what was causing that shuddering when it was trying to spin around in there, and it was just dry rust. I mean, it was bad. So I got the U-joint to transfer case and the U-joint to the rear end. Got those changed out easy. Start taking this apart. This was kind of a booger. I found out later it's not really for an amateur to do, because it was kind of a inside in the middle there. A lot of times the guy was telling me that, you know, that part will come apart, which I got it apart and kept all the pieces together, but when I would put the U-joint back in, it wouldn't fit. It was actually too long. It was about the width of the retaining ring too long. So I beat that one out, went and measured and tried to get another one, couldn't find anything. So finally I was at my wit's end. I had wanted to try to avoid this, but I wound up taking it, or calling a drive shaft shop. They deal with drive shafts and axles and all that sort of thing, because I was thinking it's going to be, you know, super expensive. So anyway, take it to them, and the guy tells me that on the Toyotas that use this, it has special U-joints in it, and the dealer doesn't even take them. He said they have them, but normally you can't even, which I did try to get something from the dealer, and they didn't even have a part number. And if you look in a shop manual, which I have a shop manual for this truck, and it shows this piece, but it does not show a replacement part number. So basically this is part of the shaft. It's welded on there. So the guy told me that they could just cut that off. They would put an Americanized joint on here. So these are standard U-joints now, and put it on, and they put it all back together and balanced it. So I would recommend, if you have the double joint and you're having shuddering problems, or you know for sure that it's your U-joints that are bad, I would go ahead and take it off. You need to take the whole thing and take it to a drive shaft specialist. Have them fix it and rebalance it, because you want to make sure that your drive shaft is balanced, or you will have some serious problems. But anyway, but I got it back. They did it, turn around about 2 days, and what wound up happening was they didn't have the joint in stock, and none of his suppliers had it. They were out, so they had to put one together in California and ship it to Georgia, or actually to Jacksonville, Florida, and that's where the shop was, and get it together. So it actually, I think it took about 5 days for it to get there. Once it got there, they had it fixed in a couple of days, and went and picked it up, installed it, and it's worked perfectly so far. So anyway, that was just another experience I had that thought that would share with the rest of you Toyota owners. I've really had good service out of this truck. I got 307,000 miles on it. I've replaced the front end. I've replaced the timing belt, which those videos are on here also. And now the drive shaft, so I'm probably eventually I'm working on replacing the exhaust system, and probably eventually the rear suspension will need some attention. Replace the shocks and struts, just normal, you know, wear and tear stuff. But replace the fuel pump. That was fun. But anyway, it's been a real good truck. You can't beat them for reliability. I mean, you got any vehicle with 300,000 miles on it, you're gonna have some issues. One of the crazy things I've got right now is this. For some reason, this upper ball joint, it won't hold the grease. So I don't know if I haven't filled it full enough to where it'll pop out and seat up top. So I got to work on that. But anyway, that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you. And I'll put some links at the bottom of this video of where I got the parts and who I got to do the work. And if you're in the Jacksonville area, I do recommend these guys that did our work. Can't remember the name of it right now, but I'll have it at the bottom of the video. Real good guys, did a real good job, and very trustworthy. And that's pretty much it, I think. As I get more projects, I'll get them on here. Anyway, have a great one. Talk later. Bye.